Welcome to Live at Roland-Garros. Welcome to Paris, the center of the tennis universe for the next couple of weeks.
It's Live at Roland-Garros, and we're so excited. It's all the action, reaction, and everything here we will cover for you nightly here at Live at Roland-Garros. We'll be with you 7 o'clock local time. You can join us on YouTube, on Facebook, on RolandGarros.com, on the official app, and we want you to have your say. Join the conversation on social media.
A big part of the show is the live action, and the chances are when you join us every night, there will be live action, unless of course, it rains.
You can't say rain, Gigi, immediately. It's going to be a sunny 2 weeks. Actually, week 2 is looking quite hot.
It is, but I come from the UK and there's an awful lot of rain, so I'm going to be the pessimist and you can stay positive about the weather.
Okay, well, today we positively had a lot of tennis. Actually, 32 matches in total, 8 courts. It was day 1 of Roland-Garros, and it all got started. 4 years later, a champion made a winning return here.
But it is all over for the world number 5.
We also welcomed a new court, and already it's seen a big, big upset. Well, very excited, obviously, for all of that this evening, but also excited. We teased you a little bit on social media, but now it's time to tell you that for the next 2 weeks, we're happy to be joined by a former world number 5 in both singles and doubles, and a Roland-Garros champion in 2001. Daniela Hantuchova, welcome. And what are you looking forward to the most here at Roland-Garros this year?
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me here. It's always so much fun to be back in Paris. And I got to tell you, from a player's perspective, this is the place you can't wait to be in, because it's the biggest gap we have between 2 slams, and it's been months now that all the players are keen to be in another Grand Slam, and I just can't wait personally to watch all the matches.
Is there something extra special if you're a player returning to a tournament when you've had the success like you did here? You're a Roland-Garros champion, so does it make it a little extra special?
Definitely. So it always brings all the nice memories, the restaurants where we used to go to celebrate after a nice win, and it's just a very special part of the year, of the season, to be part of it. So thanks for having me.
And were you quite superstitious? If you were on a winning run, did you have to go back to the same restaurant?
Do we have like 2 hours to discuss that? I think you know all about
routines,
it. Yeah, so yes, I was very superstitious, especially about the restaurants, always going to the same places, having the same food, same practice courts. Yeah, we can just keep going on.
Okay, that's another show. Okay,
Yep.
so within these next 2 weeks, we will talk about superstitions and routines, but we must get to the other member of the Live at Roland-Garros team. It is Eli Weinstein. Eli will never be in the studio because, Eli, you like to be out and about.
I mean, how could I not like to be out and about with everything going on? I'm whispering. I really have to whisper. I am on court Simone Mchugh. The match between David Goffin and Ricardus Berankis just kicked off 9 minutes ago, and already Goffin is a break up. Real quick, David Goffin is 2-1 in head-to-heads against Berankis, although Berankis won the last match between the two in Doha earlier this year. These two are the same generation. They're both 28 years old. Goffin ranked 30th, Berankis 72. Goffin's best result here, quarterfinals in 2016. Meanwhile, Berankis is 0-5 at Roland-Garros, so he's looking to pick up a first possible win, but it hasn't started well for him. These two never met on clay. I say that, but in doubles, in juniors, they played a match on clay against each other, and Berankis won that 1-0 because Goffin's team had to retire after 1-0.
Oh, Eli, you're digging in there. You're getting a historical on us. Hey, you're being quiet right now, but there was some drama. There was some loudness out there on that new court, Simone Mchugh, earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, we could nickname this the comeback court already. It started off with Muguruza. She was the first player to win on this court in the history of this court. She was set down to Taylor Townsend, came back. And then Nico Mahut in front of the French crowd, possibly for his last French Open as a singles player. He was down 2 sets to love to last year's semifinalist Marco Cecchinato, came back and won that. Big, big win. And then just before this match, we had Svitolina, who beat Venus Williams. So this is the last match of the day on court Simone Mchugh. It's an amazing place. Here, Philippe will show you around real quick. Take a look at this beautiful court, everybody. Get used to it. It's going to be the scene for a lot of amazing matches in Roland-Garros from today and in the future.
I have missed the whispering Eli, and I am glad you're back. And Eli's going to be back a little bit later in the show because still plenty of action taking place.
Yeah, totally. It's been a really, really busy day, and let's go ahead and get to that action. First off, we teased you that a former champion here, 10 years ago, actually, it was Roger Federer who hoisted his lone Roland-Garros trophy. And guess what, Daniela? He's back for the first time in 4 years. And it wasn't necessarily super straightforward against Lorenzo Sonego today, but 3 sets, and Federer's looking in fine form.
He definitely is. And also from the practice session he's been having here, you can see just how much fun he's having. And with him, it's all about that. To me, personally, I feel like if he's enjoying tennis as much as he's these days, he can play till he's at least 40, because that's how much energy I feel he's still got left in him.
And it's amazing the buzz it creates having Roger Federer at your tournament.
No, it's unbelievable. It's also like, for example, now in Rome last week, when he loses, it suddenly feels like a completely different energy. That's how much aura he's got around him, and wherever he comes, you know, whether it's a tennis tournament or an event or a party or a sponsor visit, he just got that charisma that everyone will notice that he's around.
Okay, we've welcomed you to the show, but now let's get serious. Can Roger go deep here in these next 2 weeks?
Look, I think he can go deep. If he can win, I think we all would love for him to see that. And if he does, that would be just something spectacular. I just don't see how he can beat Novak on clay this year. But other than that...
Quarterfinals, semifinals?
Quarterfinals for sure. Semifinals eventually against Rafa. You know, I mean, with these great champions, everyone can win on any given day. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, and let's take it one match at a time, just like all of them do, and see what happens. But at least quarterfinals, semifinals for sure.
I want to look at the 2016 champion Cabrini Muguruza. I spoke to a few people ahead of this match with Taylor Townsend, and this is the split with Muguruza. Half the people said dark horse to win the title, half the people said upset, and it kind of sort of sums up Muguruza in her form.
It's exactly how she is. On any day, she can pretty much win every single tournament she enters, but also losing first round. That's how, you know, she's a very hot and cold player, and I think she expects that. She accepts that, you know, she's going to have some early round losses, but at the same time, within no time, she can win titles. So I would never write her off in any tournament she enters, and obviously she's won here before. That's a huge thing to have back on your mind, that you can always do it again.
Danny, she wins in 3 sets today. Is it good to have an early round challenge if you're a top seed?
Definitely so. You want to get that first round nerves behind you, because as a top player, that's where you feel the pressure the most. It's pretty much in the second week when you start to relax, because you can really enjoy the tournament. You kind of fulfill your expectations, and you can really start to play your best tennis. But believe me, I do not miss the nights before first round in Grand Slams.
The nerves, the butterflies. Well, there were plenty of those for players around the grounds here. 32 matches in total, some going live right now. But let's check out other matches that were completed. I mentioned that big upset, and well, it was Marco Cecchinato, the number 16 seed. This was dramatic as Nicolas Mahut comes back, Danny, from 2 sets to love down and wins this. Cecchinato will drop outside the top 30, and for Mahut, what an emotional win.
I mean, what a special day for him, especially to do it on that court. And you know, he's such a great fighter. He's, I think, proven that to all of us against in that match against Isner in Wimbledon, and now to be able to fulfill another comeback is just great for him. Also, you know, being at the later stages of his career.
Angelique Kerber, world number 5, is out. Her opponent, Potapova, gets her first top 10 win. But for Kerber, 2 weeks ago, she didn't think she would play because she was in so much pain with her foot and her ankle.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good effort from her to actually even make it to here. And on clay, that's where it's going to show the most, whether you are physically prepared or not. And, you know, we have to give her credit that she tried, but obviously we have to also give credit to her opponent because she played a great match.
Stefanos Tsitsipas with a 6 next to his name. He's the number 6 seed, and today he just needs 3 sets to get through this one against Maximilian Marterer, and just maybe we could see a Tsitsipas versus Roger Federer rematch from the Australian Open. And Tsitsipas continues to surprise all of us, but I don't think he's surprised himself with his form, and he continues to roll on. 11 of his last 13 matches on the clay he's won.
Karolina Pliskova, I don't like playing on clay. I feel weird on clay. It doesn't work on clay. She's a title winner on clay. She is in the mix for this time. She's also in the mix to be world number 1. A few things would have to fall into place for Pliskova, but she will be absolutely delighted on Philippe Chatrier. Straight sets, job done, round 2.
She's the Rome winner, and now she's a winner here today. Also a winner, Marin Cilic. She struggled as of late, but this was a straight sets win over Thomas Fabiano, the Italian. And Cilic, big hitter. Maybe, just maybe, could he make a deep run here? He's a Grand Slam winner himself, and today he gets into the second round.
He faces Grigor Dimitrov. What a weird match. Dimitrov was 2 sets up. Tipsarevic was on one leg. He spoke to the supervisor. He could not move that left leg. Dimitrov kept giving the ball back to him. Tipsarevic won the 4th set. Looked devastated that he won the 4th set. We ended up into a 5th set, and Dimitrov, much to his relief and the Bulgarian fans, came through and will now face Marin Cilic.
It was much more straightforward on the court Suzanne Lenglen for Kei Nishikori. His coach, Michael Chang, celebrating 30 years since his win here in 1989. And he came from a breakdown, did Kei Nishikori, in the 3rd set to beat the French hope, Quentin Halle. And hey, that's a colorful number. I like that one on Kei.
I love, he always wears good colors, really good colors there from Kei Nishikori. And Kristina Mladenovic, the home fans will be absolutely delighted. She's working, of course, now with Sasha Bain. It's been really interesting to hear what he's had to say. He said, I wouldn't have worked with the player if I didn't think she could beat anyone she faced whenever she stepped out onto the court. In front of the fans, there would have been nerves, so Kristina Mladenovic will have been delighted to get off to this start.
You can find many more results. I mentioned 32 matches, singles matches today. We've got a full slate we'll talk about tomorrow when we get there. But go to RolandGarros.com for everything you need. Now it's time. We know all of you are linked in. Let's go ahead and check out our social media. Well, there's a lot happening on social media, but Daniela, I think these schemes will look familiar to you. It's Rafael Nadal and Simona Halep getting out and about. There's Simona with the Eiffel Tower and Rafa at the Opera.
Well, I love what Simona posted the other day, that, you know, if you want to get a picture with Rafa, you got to win this tournament. So, you know, she's just such a humble girl, and what she's done last year was just very emotional. I was so happy for her. Obviously, Rafa is used to these kind of things, you know, having to present the trophy and be part of the draw ceremony. And for Simona, it's great times. That's why I think, to me, she's one of the favorites, because it doesn't matter how good or bad a season you have. When you come to your happy place, where you've won before, you just suddenly start to feel and play better out of nowhere, because it just brings you all the nice memories and energy, and you just start to be more confident.
And for the players, it's fun to be in Paris, right?
Oh,
just in general.
Is it just for the players? I think it's for everyone.
For us, too. Now, this was fun and funny. Novak Djokovic working out in the player gym and went a little too hard on the medicine ball. He breaks the floor, but that was nice of him to put the cones out, right?
Yeah, he always likes to do this kind of stuff, and maybe he just wanted to send a message to the rest of the guys that he's in a good form physically as well.
Have you ever broken anything in the gym with your workouts?
I was very close to break a few things with the medicine ball, especially, you know, hit some people. So,
good. Okay.
You know, when you spend 4 hours a day in the gym, all kind of things can happen.
Absolutely.
Okay, now, I don't think this happened in the gym, but this photo almost went viral. This is 3 days ago, Serena Williams with daughter Olympia, with husband Alexis, and they're actually at Disneyland Paris. And it went viral because why is Serena Williams sitting in a wheelchair? Well, we know she's had a knee injury in Rome. We know that maybe that knee was niggling a bit. You could imagine if she's walking all the way around Disneyland Paris, perhaps she just wanted to relax. But she was hitting. We saw that just a few feet away from us here at our studio the other day. And I don't think it's a cause for concern.
Honestly, I don't really know what to think about that photo. I can understand it from players' perspective, that sometimes you like to save your energy and just stay off your feet. That's what we were always told by our coaches, especially before a big event, that you want to have your legs fresh. So maybe that explains it, but can't find any other explanation.
And also carrying toddlers, that can be heavy. So maybe, you know, Alexis on her lap, she sits in the chair, she prepares.
I love that. There, explained. There we go. Mystery solved. Okay, where is Eli Weinstein now? He's been out and about. And Eli, we're checking in with you again.
Okay, I'm going to keep whispering. No, I'm just kidding. I don't need to whisper. Okay, I'm in between Court Simone Mchugh and the major Roland-Garros site, and we're here in front of Simone Mchugh. You can see her right here. I just want to tell you a little bit about her. She was a two-time Roland-Garros champion, 1938 and 1939. In 1938, she actually did the treble, which she was one of 5 players, female players, to do. Mind you, no male players have ever managed to do that in the history of this tournament. In total, she has won 13 slams. She's a Hall of Famer since 2006. She was the French captain of the French female tennis team before the Fed Cup from 1949 to 1960. So basically, she was probably the second most successful French tennis player on the women's side ever.
Eli, she's a fascinating character because it's almost as though with what she did and what she went through, she had two completely different lives.
Yep. Here's for a little history, Gigi. Her career stopped in 1939 when the war started. General de Gaulle basically made a calling to all the French people. She was in New York. She was actually about to compete. Was the U.S. Open or the championships of the U.S. She jumped on a boat. She went right to England, joined the General de Gaulle, created the women's voluntary service. So she was the first woman basically in the French military, got women to move on, got super involved in the war, ended up, ended up parading down Champs-Élysées when Paris was liberated in 1944, and then she joined Secret Service. I mean, this woman had two lives. She's amazing, and it's not a surprise that they named the court after her. So, Simone Mchugh, we salute you.
Yeah, it's a fabulous court. So we've had Whispering Eli, we've had Historical Eli, and we've still got one more Eli to come. So it's just a complete surprise. What is going to happen in the next Eli? Now, this is the part of the show. Nick talked about this at the top, but you're a very important part of Live at Roland-Garros. Every day, we're going to be putting something out there for you to react to. So this is the part of the show when you can have your say. Daniela, will Rafa win title number 12? There'll be people out there saying, don't be stupid, of course he will. Others saying, well, I'm not so sure. It just feels a little bit different this year.
Definitely so. It just doesn't feel the same as we would think about him the last few years. And as much as we would all, I think, want him to win just as well as Roger and Novak, it's so hard to pick to start with any of those three. But I just feel like Novak is in the best space mentally. That's always the most important thing with him, and the way he's played in Madrid and Rome, and obviously winning the first slam of the year. I just feel he's got the best chance.
Okay.
There was so much discussion about Rafa and his form leading in, but when you get to a slam, when Rafa gets to a slam, does any of that matter the last few weeks?
It does, especially on clay, because clay is all about finding the rhythm and finding the confidence. And now the good news is that all three guys actually managed to find decent confidence on this surface. So that's what makes this year Roland-Garros so interesting, because everyone seems to be in a great form. Physically, they're all fit. So it's just so hard to pick one of those. But also, we must not be forgetting Dominic Thiem.
Yeah, yes.
Now, what we did is we decided to go out and about around the grounds here at Roland-Garros to find out what you think. Will Rafa win title number 12?
Hello. Can I get your attention just 1 second? I have a very simple question to ask you guys. Will Rafa Nadal win number 12 this year?
Yes.
Yes.
No. Yeah, I think.
Why?
Oh, he's the king of the court.
No, obviously not.
Why is that?
And Novak's got it.
No, it's Federer.
Really?
Yeah, I think.
Yes, Rafa will win.
Why is that?
Because he is good, he fights hard, and he fights with his heart.
I have a quick question for you. Will Rafa Nadal win number 12 this year?
Yes, absolutely.
Why is that?
It's his match, it's his tournament, and they love him here. So we hope he wins.
I think yes.
Okay, the question is very simple. Will Rafa win number 12 this year?
For sure. He will win.
No doubt?
No doubt, no doubt.
Nobody can challenge him?
No.
Exactly, he was wearing a Nadal
doubt.
hat.
I was just going to say, like, is he going to say something different when you're wearing Rafa's head?
But the interesting thing I thought from listening to everyone was it was quite mixed. There were those saying, well, no, it's going to be Novak, he's the better player. And it mentioned Dominic Thiem, so it's not that straightforward, it seems.
No, it's not, absolutely not this year. And that's why it's going to be so interesting. And it's probably, I would say, the most exciting Roland-Garros we've had in many, many years.
So you're going to win...
I'm going with Novak.
You're going Novak.
And I've actually picked Dominic Thiem.
And I've gone with Novak. So none of us, we've said no
Somehow
in the poll.
that's possible.
But
Sorry,
we did,
Rafa.
Sorry. And to that gentleman wearing the hat. But we did, Nick, we did do a poll, didn't we? Put it out on social
totally.
media.
So this was on social media, on Twitter, earlier today. The results are in from those of you around the world. And what do we got? And there it is. 70% of you say yes, Rafa will win. So I like this. Some audience disagreements. I think we should all check our social media after. We might have some people disagreeing with what we've said.
But I think also
here.
sometimes the question people are forgetting is, will he win or do we want him to win? Because obviously everyone wants him to win, and just like everyone wants Roger to win, and Novak as well. So it's just sometimes your heart tells you the answer.
Okay, so maybe tomorrow's question: do we want him to win?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's find that man in that hat again. Just right there is live tennis going on. It is not raining. I can tell you that David Goffin has got off to a cracking start against Ricardas Berankis. Now, they've not met at tour level. Eli was telling us about a meeting years ago, but look at that deft little tactical drop shot from the Belgian David Goffin. He closes out the first set 6-love, playing on the Simone Mchugh court. We've heard about the background to Simone Mchugh, and it was a court that you had the privilege to go to when it wasn't surrounded by people.
Yeah, this place is absolutely beautiful. I think sometimes we run out of words to describe it, but I actually went there and experienced not only that, but the surrounding areas. It's been a year of immense changes here at Roland-Garros, and while all eyes are fixed on the redone Court Philippe Chatrier, just a short walk from there, the tournament has expanded into the historic L'Orangerie and its shining gem, the Court Simone Mchugh. Let's go check it out. So who is Simone Mchugh? She was a great champion in France in the 1920s and 30s and won here at Roland-Garros in 38 and 39, going on to be the women's tennis captain in France. Surrounded by 4 working greenhouses and an ode to Les Serres d'Italie gardens, the sunken venue seats over 5,000 fans and is sure to become an instant favorite. And guess what? There is not a bad seat in the house. I have to say, there's really nothing like it in tennis, and while this area will be open to the public year-round, the Formagé greenhouses and this glistening new Court Simone Mchugh, they offer something new out of tennis's past, a wonderland that can be enjoyed by us all. Okay, I'm getting some ribbing in the studio because I did a lot of walking. You've got to walk to get
we love the walking.
Catwalk ready.
I had my walking shoes on, but you know, it's interesting because when a new court comes out, it is exciting and shiny and new and glistening. But what about for the players? From the players' perspective, you've got a lot of new details to pay attention to, and to help us understand how a player approaches a new court, we check in with Camille Pan.
Hi everybody, today I wanted to talk to you about how players are aware of the court design, and I'm standing right now on the center court, which a lot of changes have been made on this court this year. You have screens at different places, it's wider, so the player that used to know this court, they're gonna have to adapt themselves. But I want to show you another place, come with me. Players definitely have some habits, but I'm pretty sure that this year they're going to adapt themselves really quickly because the course is beautiful and it's really nice for a player to enter in such a nice court, huge with a lot of people. But I want to show you another play, the third one. Let's go. As I said, this court is amazing. But playing in front of 15,000 people, I can tell you, it's something that can be scary. But in the end, it's much better for a player to play on those kinds of courts rather than on outside court because you have the energy from the public and it's pretty good. And then it's more difficult to play like in the outside court. So they're lucky to be on these courts. Nick, Gigi, Daniela, tomorrow I'll be on another spot for you guys.
Oh. Can't wait. Thank you very much to Camille Pan. And Daniela, we were talking about this before, and you were saying something really interesting, and it was regarding the size of the court and in relation to the courts here at Roland-Garros.
Yeah, especially the center court. I mean, for what is the most important thing for the player is how much distance there is between baseline and the fence, because that's how kind of you judge your ground strength, especially on the baseline. So if there is too much space, especially if you're not used to that court early on in the matches, you might actually miss a lot of balls long because you just feel like the court is longer than what it is. So that's why playing on new courts like Cabrini Muguruza was the first player to play on the new Simone Mchugh court. It's an honor. It's very special, but at the same time, it can be a little bit tricky for the players because even though she has played here for many years, suddenly she's out there somewhere that you're not really used to, which is very, very new to the top players because they're so used to playing at the show courts and they know exactly the distance and the habits, how to play, because also you have to adjust pretty much to every single court you play on here. Like for example, Susan Langland plays much faster than center court, so there's so many things to consider.
And you've actually done this. 2009, it was the new #2 court, and you were the very, very first match on. How did you experience that?
It was a lot of pressure because I also played against Laura Robson. She was the up-and-comer, so there was, it was one of those days. If I win, it's normal. If you lose, it's a tragedy. So I was really glad to get through that one. I did, and it was very special actually because all eyes are on you, and you want to perform the best, but also because it was in Wimbledon, you don't really get to practice on it. So the first few games were a little bit tricky, and it takes time to get used to it.
Now, someone else who won today was Roger Federer. His last match here was 2015. 2016, he had back problems, wasn't here. 2017, 2018, he skipped clay altogether. He is back, and he's back on the 10th anniversary of when he won the French Open title. And we're lucky enough that he sat down with Eli to talk about some of the changes and really sort of look between winning that title and then here, 10 years on.
I remember, I think I went to the line at 5-4, maybe serving for the match. I already had tears in my eyes because I felt like, oh my God, I think I'm going to win this now. I'm 2 sets to love up, 5-4, playing great. But then the last point, I hit the first of it to his forehand, and I think he shanked it a little bit, and I thought he hit it normal because I couldn't hear the shank. And I was running forward, and I thought this for sure was going to come over, and as I see the ball hitting the net, you realize this is it. It's not coming over. There's no more next point. There is no more next year. There is no more nothing. It's just pure joy and celebration. That's when I sunk to my knees, and I obviously got emotional right away, and the ovation was just insane. I haven't been back in the last 3 years. I was here in 16 quickly, just for one day. The pillars are ready for the roof next year. Center court has gotten a revamp. They changed all their seats. I haven't seen Langland yet, and I've seen that there's a new botanical court as well, Simone Mchugh court. So I would love to see that one. I think it's going to be quite special. As it's sunken in, I always think it's great when they sink in the courts, so you don't have these the mega structures all around. If it's showers or if it's locker rooms, there's little things and changes and tunnels for the players to be able to get around the grounds easier, because it is a tight space for such a massive event, so which makes it also quite cozy. And all I'm waiting for now is to see how it's going to feel with the crowds walking the grounds. It's very exciting, some guys have left and some new guys have come, and I think it's a strong new generation coming through right now with the likes of Kachanov and Medvedev. Obviously Zverev has been around for a while now, and you add Shapovalov and Auger-Aliassime to the whole equation, and Nick Kyrgios obviously been around for a while now too. So it's really been quite exciting, and I think it's going to be an exciting French Open, to be quite honest. And next year and then the year after, they'll push even more and more older guys out of the game, which is totally fine.
We were talking before, we can't believe it's been 10 years. He was talking about the changes. What kind of change? I mean, from last year to this year, it feels like a completely different place.
It does. It's incredible what the French Federation has done with this tournament once again. And as a player, you always appreciate, the work they do. When you enter a new gym, new players' lounge, it just makes the life on the tour even more exciting, because you always can't wait what's going to be new the next year after that.
What are we going to find in there?
Yeah, exactly. And we never know what we're going to find next with Eli Weinstein. So one more time, we're checking in with Eli, who I don't think is in the same spot we found him last time.
No, I'm in a very solitary spot. It's Court Philippe Chatrier. No more action going on, but just a beautiful sight for the eyes. This brand new court that, remember, was brought completely down to the ground, torn down, and brought back up in 9 months. Amazing what they did. Looks beautiful. So I just wanted to say, wish you guys a good evening. And actually, before I go, I wanted to ask Daniela a question. Daniela, can you just explain to me what's going on this picture that is being shown on the screen right now?
Oh, that's a cool one, huh? Yeah. You guys are jealous of that one.
You look very happy.
Of course I am. I mean, if you take a selfie with Roger, but I was asked to do that, so I wasn't the one asking to do it. I got
Are you
told,
just telling us that, or were you told to
no,
take it?
honestly,
This
no.
is last year, right?
It was actually the first time I ever interviewed someone.
Anyone?
Oh, wow.
And it was Roger.
And you start with Federer?
Yes. Yeah, so
That's how
it was
Daniela does it. How'd
it was
it go?
a very special day. And, Roger, as being Roger always, I mean, the answers he's given me, I was actually more impressed interviewing him than watching him play, because I just couldn't believe the depth of every single sentence he has. And that's where I realized what a champion he is, because of how he acts, how you can feel his presence when he talks to you. And I never felt that with anyone else. So that was a special day. And thanks for pulling that photo out.
Yeah, thank you for that, Eli. I don't know what you're going to be doing for the rest of the tournament, but you started well. That's good.
Yeah, that was not too bad.
I have some secrets that I'm keeping for the rest of the days. Anyways, I don't believe a word you said, Daniela, and I wish everybody a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. I've got a quick result for you. Sloane Stephens is through straight sets against Misaki Doi. The action continues. Keep an eye on RolandGarros.com or the app if you want to get up to date with everything that's happened. But last year's final, now she's had changes, coaching changes in the Stephens camp, but she's got such a fantastic game to cover the surfaces.
I mean, look, she's got so much potential. I played against Sloane, I think, first time in Madrid a couple of years ago. And even though I won the match, I just couldn't believe the power. And it almost back then, sometimes mentally, she was very weak. So thankfully for me that day, she didn't seem to be really on the court. But I just felt like if she wanted to, she would just hit me off the court. And that's how much power she's got. She's a very natural athlete, especially of that forehand side. I mean, the angles she can generate. And it's also in a women's game, it's a very special forehand to have, because it's, with most of the women, it's very predictable where they're going to hit. But with Sloane, because she has that beautiful, quick wrist action, she can pretty much hit it from anywhere on the court.
Well, she'll continue to hit it because she's suited round 2.
Yeah.
Tomorrow
is
blockbuster.
Jam-packed. We're excited for it. Here is the Court Philippe Chatrier lineup, including Wozniacki to start, and then Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic back-to-back, followed by Serena Williams. And Danielle, if you have to pick just one of these, what match are you getting popcorn for tomorrow?
Look, it's got to be Djokovic-Hurkacz. I just absolutely love Hurkacz's game. He's also such a warm guy, so sweet. And I love his style, beautiful technique. So it's not going to be easy for Novak, even though we both picked him to win this tournament. It's going to be a tough first round, and I'm sure Novak knows that as well.
Can I pick that match too? I don't have to pick a different match.
You're
can I go
sitting
with
there
Daniela?
with popcorn as well?
We're together watching the match.
Sure.
Are you joining us?
I mean, Hurkacz has had a great year, actually.
I think it's a no.
Quarterfinals of Indian Wells, but I'm going with Serena Williams. She won't be in a wheelchair tomorrow. She'll be on court. She's taking on Vitalia Diatchenko, and I think we're going to see Serena back in full Serena form.
Danielle, have you enjoyed your first show with us?
I have, actually. I was really scared about the photo, but
So were we.
yes, I think it's been so much fun, and it's so great to be part of the second Grand Slam of the year. And I just can't wait for the next 14 days, is it, right? That it's going to be amazing tennis. As Roger said himself, it's probably one of the most exciting Roland-Garros that we ever had.
We are just getting started.
Yeah, we're super excited, and we hope that you're as excited as us and Danielle, and you can join us each night from 7 o'clock. YouTube, Facebook, the official website. We're also on the official app. And don't forget to weigh in. Do you want your voice heard here on Live at Roland-Garros? Well, guess what? Just go to our Twitter account just about noon Paris time every day, and you can weigh in.
We look forward to your company. Remember, every night, 7 p.m. Thank you for being with us on Live at Roland-Garros.